8A. Coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
A decade after the crime, new evidence comes out. Ryan Ferguson's attorney submitted paperwork today that she hopes will grant him a retrial. Good evening, I'm Angie Bailey.
And I'm Christian Bryant. Today marked the deadline for both Ferguson's defense and the state to present documents to the judge before he decides on a retrial. As KOMU 8's Danny Spiewak explains, the defense's document introduces new evidence and attacks the testimony of a former prosecutor who's now a judge.
We're here to file Ryan Ferguson's proposed findings.
We thought we heard everything in April. Apparently not.
A couple new pieces of evidence.
Kathleen Zellner officially submitted paperwork to the circuit clerk. It's mostly a culmination of arguments she presented in evidentiary hearings in April. Her team is arguing for a retrial after a jury convicted Ferguson in 2005 of murdering Columbia Tribune sports editor Kent Heitholt. And back in April, two witnesses recanted their original testimonies which landed Ferguson in prison. But these documents weren't just a formality.
It's a new day for Mr. Ferguson, and every day that he sits in prison is now a day that he should not be there, because people have come forward, they have admitted they lied, and that had never happened before in this case.
Here's the new evidence. Zellner's going after former prosecutor Kevin Crane. The document claims part of Crane's April testimony is false. He's important in this case because the defense has painted him in a negative light, saying he had an agenda in leading on witnesses to get a conviction for Ferguson, like for accomplice Chuck Erickson, who Zellner says was scared of facing the death penalty if he did not testify.
Judge Crane had said that that was never in play, the death penalty, and there are news clips and news articles showing Prosecutor Crane at the time saying, yes, in fact, the death penalty was in play.
In its briefs, the state refutes this, saying the death penalty was, quote, not an available punishment. We tried calling Crane. His secretary gave us his voicemail, and he never responded. But now that both the state and the defense have submitted their arguments, it's all in Judge Green's hands now to make a decision on a retrial. Danny Spiewak, KOMU 8 News, Jefferson City.
Judge Green says he'll try to make his ruling on a retrial as soon as possible, but Zellner says no matter the decision, she expects the case to eventually reach Missouri's Supreme Court.